Hey, what is up, everybody? So, patch 5.2 just came out, and there were a lot of changes to warlocks. So, I just want to use this video to go over warlock changes and, if we got buffed, did we get nerfed, and just kind of have like an open discussion about everything. Um, so, also, I got a new computer. My old computer just would not handle fraps anymore, fraps and WoW. So I had to stop making videos for a couple months until I built this new computer. It's really good. It's really fast. So I'm going to be doing a lot of new videos now. Um, Anyways, let's talk about warlock changes, and let's start with basically the general changes that affect warlocks of any spec, and then we can go into more spec detailed changes. Okay, so first there were a couple blanket changes. First of all, Fell Armor, which is just passive, a buff on all warlocks at all time. You get it reduces all damage taken by 10% now. It used to be increases armor by 10%. Now it's just a straight damage reduction. So that is that's a buff against both melee and casters. So that's kind of nice. Dark Intent now, you'll see it increases spell power like before, and it increases stamina by 10%. So we get more health. That's cool. Gives us some more utility. Let's go over talents, I guess. I'm playing Destruction in this video, but let's go over talents since this affects any spec. This first row, I guess, Soul Leech used to be kind of self-healing. Now it's more, it puts an absorb shield on you when you do incinerates or fell flames or chaos bolts or whatever the spec uses. So it puts an absorb shield. It's kind of cool because sometimes the self healing is over healing. You don't need it, so it'll put an absorb. I'm not sure if it's good for PvP. I'm still probably going to take Dark Regeneration, just so I can have a pretty potent cooldown with Healthstone and Glyph of Healthstone. But Soul Leech isn't bad. It might be worth using sometimes. Nothing changed here. Sacrificial Pact changed. It now only takes 25% of your health and puts a big shield. Here, I'll use it. So it takes my health because I don't have a pet. And it puts a 453,000 damage shield on me. And that's every minute. So that's like amazing. So I am going to use that very, very often now. Is this guy a healer? Let's Sea-Doo Ski. Oh, maybe that's Sea-Doo. The Shaman. I am lagging a little bit. I don't... Jeez. Okay, let's kill Sea-Doo. Oh my god, he is not geared. Okay, I'm probably gonna die here, but I just want to stop them from... I'll try to show you Blood Horror. Check out this rogue, see if he gets feared. If I live, I don't even know if I'll live, but if this rogue hits me, he's gonna get horrified. No? Okay, yeah, I just try to stop him for as long as I can. Anyways, so yeah, Sacrificial Pact only takes 25% of your health. It used to be 50, so that's a buff. Next, we have Blood Horror that replaced Blood Fear, so you don't have your instant fear anymore. It was too good. The idea with this talent is, so you use it, I'll show you right now, you just use it, it has a 30-second cooldown, and puts a buff on you. It says enemy melee attacks, so I guess the next melee attack causes the attacker to be horrified. So not feared, but horrified. It's kind of like a fear, but it just doesn't break on damage, and it does not share diminishing returns with fear. I guess I'll stay here. So the idea about this is Blood Fear was able to be used offensively more often than not. You could like fear a healer, just you could fear a healer really easily. And the intent of the talent was to be defensive. This is a defensive talent. You use it, and it peels you, or yeah, it peels you for 4 seconds. You can use it offensively to get a cast off, yes, but it's meant to be a defensive talent. It's good for solo play. Is this guy really trying to fake me? Okay, these guys are like trying to fucking cap on me. Yep. Is this guy really sitting there? Let's see if I can one-shot him. I have cooldowns up. Oh my god. Okay, well. Let's see, let's peel this guy. See. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, so Blood Fear or Blood Horror is meant to be a defensive talent. So the next thing that really changed is these Grimoire, these pet talents. And this was just really to balance PvE. They saw that everybody was taking sack, and so they nerfed the damage of it for affliction and destruction. They left it alone for demonology. So basically what they did was for destruction, this used to be a 25% increase on most of your single target spells. They lowered it down to 15%. So that was a pretty decent nerf. For affliction, they nerfed it down from 50% to 25%. Not as big of a deal for affliction because affliction could already use a pet and do fine, but destruction relied on the burst a lot, so that's going to be down with this nerf. But it's still good. I think for affliction and destruction, or for affliction and demonology, you definitely want to be using a pet. For destruction, it just kind of depends. I like the feel of destruction without a pet. I think it feels good with sack, maximize your burst and all that. But it's really viable to also go supremacy now. Nothing really changed in the last tier. A couple things that you'll notice for glyphs is you'll see that I have 4 burning embers, and if you're affliction, you have 4 soul shards. That's by default now. You used to have to have a glyph to have that. So what they did was they replaced those glyphs with, I'll show you. So the first glyph is Glyph of Drain Life that increases your healing by 30%, and Glyph of Ember Tap for destruction. Ember Tap heals you for 5% more, but it's over 10 seconds, so it's almost like the Glyph of Hellstone. I don't like either of these glyphs. I don't think they're good. Ember Tap, I'll explain my reasoning. Looks like Lighthouse is going to be fucking raped here. I don't even think I can help. But Ember Tap, because you want to save your embers for the most part for Chaos Bolts and offensive spells. You don't really want to be healing. Ember Tap is a last resort, even though it's really good. So when you do it, when it's a last resort, you're in trouble. So you don't want the heal over time. You want an instant heal. So that's why I'm not a huge fan of the glyph. I tried it out for a BG. I didn't like it. Okay, I have to pause the video real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's, I guess, go into specific buffs and nerfs and changes and all that. Let's start with Affliction. Affliction really got changed the least. Again, most of these changes that I'm going to mention here are just PvE changes, balancing damage and shit. Like, I guess the state was Affliction was really high, like one of the highest performing specs, while Demonology and Destruction were some of the lowest. So, yeah, that's, again, they nerfed Sac, so you don't really want to be using Sacrifice for PvP as Affliction. They increased the Haunt multiplier. It used to increase dot damage by 25%. Now it increases dot damage by 30% when you have Haunt on. The other change is for UA. There's a couple changes actually. First of all, they added a glyph, or they changed the glyph. So the glyph now reduces the cast time by 25%. It used to double the damage of the dispel effect, I think, but remove the silence component. Now they change it so the silence component is still in, and they made it so the UA dispel always crits. So that's pretty nice. That's actually a pretty good affliction buff. It wasn't too punishing to dispel. Let's havoc this guy. Ooh, this guy died. Man. Okay. Okay. So as I was saying, yeah, it was just some minor damage buffs, but the UA dispelling is pretty nice. Sorry, I'm like really terrible at fucking talking and fighting at the same time. um, so Demonology just got damage buffs across the board, pretty much. That's the extent of the changes for Demonology. Um, They buffed Handagoldon by 15%, your Imp's damage by 15%, your Shadow Bolt damage by 15%, your Instant Shadow Bolt, Touch of Chaos by 15%, and your Soulfire by 22%. So this is... Friends telling me. Yeah, so this is... basically, this is pretty interesting because I've been testing it out, and it seems like Soulfire, if you can free cast it, is worth using in Metamorphosis, especially when you have Dark Soul up. It can hit for like 80 to 100k. You gotta have the proc up, and it hits for a ton. So it's actually worth using. Let's see, this guy's the healer. Kill him, I guess. Oh, what the fuck? Not good. Not good. See, I had my blood horror there, so he's feared. It's kind of stupid. Okay, so I'm gonna use Blood Horror here. Is it gonna resist? It resisted because he's cloaked. Okay. See if this guy comes after me. I have my shield up. That's not good. My shield's running out now. Okay. Anyways, here we go. So yeah, it might be worth using Soulfire in Metamorphosis during Dark Soul if you can free cast. It can do some pretty real burst. So definitely check that out. Destruction changes. Basically, yeah, the same thing. Damage just got buffed across the board, but you got to remember they nerfed Sacrifice by 10%, down from 25 to 15%. So they nerfed that down, but they increased Conflagrate damage by 15% and Incinerate damage by 10%. What this means is you want to Incinerate a lot more if you can. If you can free cast, definitely try to get more Incinerates off as opposed to Fell Flames, like I mentioned before. It does pretty good damage, so yeah, it's definitely worth using now. That's really all that's changed for Destruction and Demonology. It's just damage buffs. So hopefully, you know, they'll get some more use. I think for RBG specs, I think it'll be Destruction or Affliction. Affliction seems okay now. For arenas, you know, it's really hard to tell. But I've seen a lot of people have success with Affliction. I'll be testing more out for sure in Arena later, but just I played a couple days on the PTR, just some arenas, and Affliction was doing okay. The biggest thing now is that their Warriors got destroyed this patch. Warriors got super nerfed, and it was because of Warrior teams that locks were lackluster. Here's a Sea-Doo. That's like just like surprise attack him. Like he doesn't even know what happened. Like oh my god, he's getting raped. So yeah, I should have Blood Horror. I'll Blood Horror, I can Horror, and now I can cast a Chaos Bolt here. Good thing about Destro still is the dual spell. Oh, this guy not having a good day. Die! Can I get a... Oh my god. I wish I could have a Dispel there. This is annoying. I am like been CC'd for 13 seconds or so. Let's Blood Horror this guy. Cast a Chaos Bolt. Fear him. This guy just runs away every time. Fake the CS. Arena Master K's. See ya. Okay. Yeah, so I think just for arenas, I would try out all specs, but Affliction I think seems to be the go-to. The damage increase of UA is pretty nice. And really, it's the biggest thing is Warlocks got trucked by Warriors. Hopefully, there's and I think, you know, even if monks and rogues and stuff become the new CS in that Aura Mastery, even if monks and rogues become the new flavor of the month, it's a lot better because they're peelable with fear, and we're not, and warriors aren't. So I think that's the biggest thing. Okay. So as this thing comes to a close, so again I'm gonna pause the video for a quick second. Okay. I haven't even been paying attention. I guess we're about to lose though. Look at this smart guy. A cool thing about the Shadow Burn actually now is you used to be able to have a killing you used to have to be able to get a killing blow to get 2 embers back. They changed it so that's not the case as long as the target dies. That doesn't really affect PvE or PvP too much because usually when you Shadow Burn something it dies. But I mean sometimes you Shadow Burn something and you don't get the killing blow, like someone else will kill it. So it's kind of like a cool quality of life thing for destruction. But yeah, I think we summed up the 5.2 changes, how it affects everything. So if you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that, just leave them in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm not I'm not one of those guys that like it's like, oh yeah, subscribe to me, like this video. But you know, if it was helpful, if you enjoyed it, just yeah, just rate it and all that, and I'll be sure to make more content in the future. Hopefully we can get some arenas. Now that I just have this computer, it'll just be a lot easier to do all this stuff. I really couldn't fraps without getting like dropping down to 10 FPS before, so it's pretty annoying. Let's get a double chaos bolt. I think I got it. So let's look at the damage. How did I do? Not bad for talking. The Shadow Priest ripped it up, I guess. But, yeah. Okay, guys. I will see you later.